Well, I certainly can't fault you if you didn't realize that we had a new named tropical storm earlier this morning. Bertha was almost lived about as long as it took to get named. It was named early this morning and then quickly made landfall in coastal South Carolina around the Charleston area. Right now, Tropical Depression Bertha is getting ready to move toward North Carolina, although most of the rainfall is already there, center of which will be crossing the state line a little bit later on tonight. Here's the timeline of Bertha's life. At 11:50 last night, the Tropical Outlook, we were highlighting this area last night, only called for the 30% chance of development. Well, as of 6:25 this morning, that outlook went from 30 up to 70. About an hour later, the Hurricane Center named it Tropical Storm Bertha. And exactly 1 hour after that, it made landfall. And then at 1 o'clock this afternoon, it had weakened to a depression. We were talking about this at the 5 o'clock hour. Warnings are only issued for tropical systems if they are named or if they have that classification of a potential tropical cyclone. So that means folks in South Carolina only got warnings with about an hour lead time before the storm made landfall. So it kind of begs the question, what was the point of naming it if it was going to be already inland an hour later? A lot of folks are also interested in the fact that we've had 2 named storms before the official start of hurricane season. This has happened 4 times in the past, looking back since 1851. That's when our hurricane records begin. 1887, 1908, 1951, and just recently in 2012, we had 2 named storms before the official start of hurricane season. A lot of folks will then start asking, well, should we start hurricane season earlier? Most of the named storms don't happen until after June 1st. And the irregularity of naming storms, or the storms that do develop in May, would just kind of complicate things. So we're good at June 1st. Had a few showers around, nothing tropical other than the air mass that is sitting over us. Very humid. Few showers we did have around, coming to an end now. And some of the rainfall totals from across the area. Bogalusa got a decent soaking of rain, whereas some other folks, a decent showing. The airport only had a trace of rain, and we got a lot of sunshine now. Some high clouds associated with some stronger storms over in Texas. Looks like the clouds themselves will be moving over us later this evening and tonight. Rainfall, though, over in Texas is not going to be affecting us. A little bit of sunshine looking out toward downtown with a temperature of 87 degrees. And we were talking about that weak front that had been sitting nearby, kind of acting as a focus for rain the last couple of days. Well, as it slowly moved through, we did get into some slightly drier air. Notice the dew points are in the 60s. Not exactly pleasant, but better than mid-70s where we had been the last couple of days. In the 80s across the area with a high today of 90, briefly getting to 90 degrees this afternoon. We'll probably see around 90 degrees again tomorrow, and again, slightly drier air, which, if we can hold on to these dew points in the 60s, we may see some 60s for our morning lows tomorrow. Spotty showers on Thursday, more scattered at best on Friday as another weak front moves into the area, and then we really start heating up. Big upper low, and you can see that swirl on satellite is moving away from us. In its place, we're going to be watching a big ridge of high pressure move in from the west. That's going to limit any rainfall and also help to heat temperatures up. As I mentioned, a weak front will be moving into the area Thursday, staying to our north, and then by Friday moving into the area, acting as a focus for some rainfall. And as it does stay to our north tomorrow, Storm Prediction Center is highlighting a low-end marginal risk for maybe some severe storms, primarily to our north. They do include parts of the northern Florida parishes, but I really think the focus is going to be more north central Louisiana and central Mississippi. High of 90, a few more scattered showers on the way for Friday, and then we dry out and heat up. Highs will be well into the 90s as we head into next week.